So today OTAs resumed. And Jonathan Gannon went deep today on Kyler Murray. A lot of conversation about Kyler today at OTAs. And you can just tell, and we talked about this last week, I can't remember the context, but the relationship between Jonathan Gannon and Kyler Murray, it's very, very clear. It's a special one. It's very clear why you've got the buy-in from Kyler and why you've had the buy-in from Kyler. Jonathan Gannon just raved about Kyler Murray today.
You know, playing the amount of ball that he's played, understanding, being on the same page with Drew and the continuity that we're talking about with the receivers and the pass catchers, what we're trying to get done, you know, everything like that. He understands it like a coach. So then you can progress very quickly with the amount that you give him because he's not stuck on 101 or 202 or 303 like he's talking about master level stuff. You know what I mean? So there's a healthy blend, though, when you coach those guys that you make sure you cover and make sure everyone gets to where they need to get to, where they're all improving because everyone's a little bit different. And then he finds to go that extra step, he finds his time one-on-one with those guys too, which is cool.
Makes a lot of sense that, you know, you really can't advance to the next phase until you've got the other one down. Like, you know, what came after algebra?
Calculus?
Or geometry or trigonometry or
yeah.
whatever it was. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do one. You can't, like, advance to one unless you got the other one down.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So was Kyler under Cliff? Was he stuck at a certain level and he just couldn't advance past that level? You know, you've got to be able to master. And I totally get what Gannon's saying. Once you've mastered a certain part of the playbook, we'll go on to the next level. You got to have this other part mastered. Oh, you got that mastered? Great. Now we could add more things. We could do more things, and the offense becomes even better.
Yeah, he was asked about Kyler exceeding his expectations. Here's what he said.
He's doing really. We had a good talk this morning. You know, the guy's constantly thinking about ball. You know, it's like I was being a dad a little bit this weekend, and it was like, what are you asking me? What play is that? You know, but he's doing a good job.
And why is that?
Yeah, I mean, because, you know, he had to go through a long recovery rehab process, so I think he feels better about where he's at right now. Obviously, getting all those reps from last week going into this week, you know, he wants to practice every day, the guy, you know. But it's cool. But he still has, you know, he's got to go through what he's got to go through off the field to make sure that he's healthy and getting better and all those things. But just like James, whatever he needs to get done to make sure that he's the best version of himself for the team, that's what he's doing.
Sounds like that's all done now, the physical stuff, like in terms of the rehab from the injury and everything. I'm hearing all these cuts, and of course it's been nothing but great that we've heard about Kyler and Gannon, about Kyler and Drew Petzing. Do we need to raise our expectations on Kyler Murray this upcoming season? Do we need to expect more out of Kyler Murray in 2024 than maybe we would have otherwise?
I think we all kind of factored in that coming back off of a big injury like that last year was going to be a feeling out process. Let me go back on it. Let me test it. Let me see if I feel good. And that this was going to be the year where you don't think about it anymore. You come back, you haven't played in so long, you got a knee injury. Can you make the cuts? Can you make the runs? Do you trust yourself enough? You're playing enough games, you finish the season, you go through camp, and now you don't think about it anymore. Mm-hmm. So I do think that there is something with this year being different than last year in, like, he's going to trust his body a lot more because he's now tested it enough to where he feels pretty secure. I still think that the jury is out on Kyler in a certain way and that this is a big year. You could say all the things right and do all the things right, but now you've got to go out there. They gave you the weapons. They gave you a better offensive line. They gave you a backup running back who could be terrific. They gave you a top wide receiver in the draft. They went out and got you Zay Jones. They got you another tight end. Like, they just handed you everything you need to be successful. Now be successful. Because if you can't, then we've got to have this debate on whether he's the guy. How far can Kyler go? Is he going to be an elite quarterback in this league, or is he going to be Jay Cutler and Kirk Cousins and guys like that and not, you know, only capable? So I want to see what he's capable of this year. I'm not sold right now on Kyler's going to be the quarterback for the Cardinals for the next 10 years. I'm just not sold on it like maybe I was when they drafted him, and I was hopeful that could be the case.
Yeah.
But I'm not sold on it right now.
It's interesting because you took that a different direction, but I like where you went with that. Okay, because you were thinking like big picture, long-term, Kyler Murray is the franchise quarterback for the next decade of this organization. I was just talking about this upcoming season. I was just talking about like this season we did the win-loss thing, and jokingly I came up with 11 wins and you came up with what, 8? I think if I remember right. Was it 8 or 9?
I had 9.
You had 9. Okay, 9. Should we be expecting more? Yeah, I mean, I know that's a big jump, and I know to go from 4 to 9 is a huge jump, which is why my prediction of 11 is ridiculous and ludicrous and absolutely should be mocked. It feels like if he's really this advanced and he's really this good and he's really this dialed in and really this connected, that it feels like anything less than what you've predicted should be seen as a disappointment. And that's kind of crazy to say, right? You're going to tell me anything less than going from 4 wins to 9 wins, and we should be disappointed? But if Kyler...
8 wins is a disappointment? It's a double the amount of win total he had last year.
It shouldn't be, but if they're going to talk up Kyler this much and make Kyler sound like he's this dialed in with what they're doing, shouldn't we almost expect 8 wins? Or 9 wins out of a quarterback who knows the system as well as he does? Or does that ignore the defense and how good they need to be and how all that stuff?
I think it does, because Kyler could put up tremendous numbers, be a Pro Bowl quarterback, throw for 3,800 yards with all the touchdowns and not a lot of interceptions and run for a lot, and somehow the team gives up, 35 points a game and they lose about like that. So then I think you would have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, and so maybe it just raises the bar on Kyler and the statistical season that he has and the performance that he has this season as opposed to team expectations, because that defense has a long, long way to go.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.